Hey queens, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are talking all about blending eyeshadow. If you're a beginner and you're just starting to learn how to get into eyeshadow, then this is definitely going to be the video for you. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay queens, so let's get started. I already have my three palettes here, which I didn't really know which palette I was going to choose from. So I have the Bare Necessities palette, and this is what it looks like, which you kind of get your soft glam, your browns, your golds, and stuff like that. I also have the Jackiana and ABH collection, which this has a lot of vibrant shades as well. And last but not least, I have this soft glam palette. If you guys don't remember, I bought this like with their Christmas collection because I felt like I had to have it. So to prime my eyes, I'm gonna go in with concealer. Sometimes people use the P. Louise base. For me, I like to use the P. Louise base to cut my crease, but I do like to use concealer to be my primer, so to speak, for my eyeshadow. Okay, so then I'm gonna do is take my e.l.f. brush and just blend this shade out. I like to pack this on the lid, and this pretty much helps to be my base for my eyeshadow, as well as to cover up, like if you have dark eyelids, or let's say you have like veiny eyelids, this will help to get that under control so you won't see it. And using a concealer that's kind of closer to your foundation shade, it really helps with not having that harsh line of demarcation underneath your eyebrow. Because you know how sometimes you see people with makeup looks and then you see like a really harsh line of demarcation, like it's like a stark white or something, some crazy color. I personally don't prefer that. Like, it just doesn't look good on me. Okay, so now that I have my base down, then I like to go on top of my base with no powder, just a damp sponge, and I'm gonna go back using this e.l.f. sponge and just kind of pat that in. Okay, so I think for my first shade I'm gonna go in with is going to be kind of like this burnt orange shade, and it's called Edges. And instead of doing like regular packing motions, I think I'm just going to pretty much do it the original way, which is like really blending from the beginning without packing colors. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that color and I'm gonna start placing that into my crease and windshield wiper motions. And this is pretty much going to be used as my base. This is like a really nice kind of tangerine shade, I would like to say. And I don't really like worry about how messy it looks when I first apply the shade, because remember, this shade is going to be covered up anyway. And I know you guys kind of noticed me looking over here, but I also have a mirror here. I kind of like to have two mirrors on me when doing my makeup, kind of the up close and far away, to see what you look like from far away, and then I have one to see exactly what my eyeshadow would look like up close. And again, in windshield wiper motions, and then in circular motions to kind of buff that shade out. Okay, the next shade I'm gonna go in with is from the Soft Glam palette, and it's gonna be the shade Mulberry, which is this really dark plum shade. But what I like to do is switch the brush. When it comes to doing eyeshadow, you really want to start off with your fluffiest brushes and then go into smaller detail brushes, just so you can kind of get that really sharp, defined eye look. And the brush I'm going to be using is this Morphe M14 brush. As you can see, it's a little bit less fluffy, a little bit smaller than this brush. And I'm going to go in with a light hand. And the first thing I'm gonna do is concentrate majority of this color towards the outer corner, kind of going in circular motions, and then going into the crease to deepen up that shade. Except this time I'm just going in windshield wiper motions, and I'm trying not to apply too much pressure. So sometimes you just have to go back and forth with more color but it's easier to start off with a small amount of color and build from that versus going in with a heavy amount of color and then trying to take some of that away. Sometimes what I like to do is go back and forth between the two shades to make sure I have a flawless blend, as well as to make sure those colors kind of show up for me. When doing your eyeshadow, it's best that you have your mirror facing down so you can get a better look of what it looks like. Just continue to go back and forth and windshield wiper motions. And when I get to the outer corner, I like to sweep the color in, like going towards the inner corner. And one thing I can tell you, like in the beginning of eyeshadow, it gets worse before it ever even gets better. Like normally with eyeshadow, it just looks a hot mess when you first start it off, and then you kind of pull it all together. So don't get discouraged. Like I used to do a lot of looks, like I'll pop some up on the screen, and these looks would be like 2-shade eyeshadow looks. But once you like jazz them up with some glitter and stuff, they really look like you did more work than what you really had to do. And then I make sure I go completely around the edges of that other shade and just make sure it's completely blended before I cut my crease. Okay, to cut my crease, I'm gonna go in with the P. Louise base in number 2. And what I like to do is just put a little bit of this product on my hand, spread it around, and just start at the bottom of my eye. Open up my eyelid to make sure, you know, I don't go too high up. For me, I pat the product in and then follow the shape of my eye. Okay, queens, I'm back with one eye done. Sorry if this eye is a little red. I got some glue in it. So first things first, the first palette I'm going to go in with is the ABH with Jackie Aina, and I'm gonna go into this shade called Wigglese. This is like a really pretty red shade that I would say actually shows up on the skin, because you know some reds don't really look red. And I'm just using this flat Wet n Wild brush. I love these brushes for eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna pop this shade right in the center. Okay, so after I'm done with that shade, I'm gonna go in with this gold shade from the Natasha Denona palette. And these little brushes, I don't know if I've mentioned them yet in the video, but this is from Milani. It's just like their little mini brush set. And I am just going to pop this shade right in front. Make sure I don't have a line of demarcation. I'm just taking this brush and just pretty much bouncing it between the two shades to make sure that is completely blended. Okay, to deepen up that outer corner, I'm gonna go in with this mulberry shade as well as this purple shade out of the Jackie Aina palette, and I'm gonna start with those two shades, and I'm gonna mix those two together and start packing that onto the outer corner. When I first did this, it didn't turn out as deep as I wanted to do it, so I ended up adding in black. But whatever you do to one side, if you want it to look really even, you would definitely have to do it to the other side, even if it's a mistake, because you could fix mistakes, but you don't want one eye just looking completely different. Like if I would go in straight with that black shade, one eye would look darker. Okay, so now that I have that first layer down, now I'm going to go in with the black shade along with a little bit of that dark purple shade. And I'm just gonna go in circular motions. Okay, then I like to go back into the shade Edges and just go around the eye, making sure to blend out any harsh lines. Okay, and then what I like to also do is take a clean brush and just anywhere that I see any line of demarcation, I just start blending. And for liner, I'm going to do pretty much a halfway line. I don't really like to take the liner into the inner corner of my eye. For some reason, I just feel like sometimes it gets cakey. If my eye starts to water, that's the first thing that starts to run. So I pretty much start, well, I'll leave like a ½ inch, and I'm just doing a straight line. So for mascara, I'm gonna go in with the Fenty mascara. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my lashes. For lashes, I'm using the ColourPop lash in the style Miami. This is my first time getting my hands on like ColourPop's lashes, and I can honestly say they are really, really, really nice. Okay, so while that's drying, we're gonna go in with under eye. For liner, I want to use the shade Club Hopper by NYX. I never tried this as a liner, but I really do. Okay, so I am back with my lashes on, and I'm going to finish up the rest of the face, and I'll be right back. Okay, queens, that's pretty much it for today's eye look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want any more tips and tricks, just leave comments down in the comment section, and I will definitely get to them as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support as always, and I'll see you guys soon in the next one. Bye.